with that, now let's get on to our City Connect uniforms. We are one City Connect jersey away from all teams having one, which means we can then do our tier list on these. Two more came out: St. Louis Cardinals, Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays actually debuting them tonight against the Pirates. And let's start with St. Louis first because they were released first. This screams spring training jersey to me, and the hat is
It is
awful.
But it is the spring training jersey, basically. Besides the squiggle marks on it, I mean, I think it is almost identical. And I don't remember if I think it was the owner, but I don't remember exactly. But there was someone in the organization that was saying, "Oh, we're too traditional of a team. We aren't going to really do this. I mean, we're doing it, but we're not doing it."
Yeah. It's kind of like obviously the Yankees have more prestige than really anybody in baseball in that sense, but like the Cardinals do feel up there where they're not an organization to like do this crazy stuff or have this crazy marketing. It's very traditional. That's the wrong jersey.
Oh, I love that Cardinals
we'll get
jersey.
To that in a we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, like it's just so low effort to me, and like again, I it's literally their spring training, like the same color as their spring training jersey. I know it's red and white, like you can't do too much different, but like that's the thing. My other gripe with this, and this has been across all these City Connect jerseys,
Wrong tab. Sorry.
There we go.
You're fine.
You're good.
Is the lettering on hats and jerseys is just awful.
Not matching.
Like it's just bad. This being the Lou, I think that looks weird. But yeah, man. Again, I don't know how much variation you can really do if you are trying to keep it traditional for a jersey like this, and your colors are red and white. But it just, dude, you could like go down to Florida in spring and see that.
I mean, this is the text on the hat and the jerseys are different, right? Because the text on the jersey there looks closer to me than what the actual text is.
Yeah,
the text on the hat is like an old. It almost looks Western to me. It's definitely an older retro look to it. But no, I mean the jerseys look like they put little effort into the City connecting. So like as a jersey, I don't love the squiggle marks on it. I do think it looks weird. The patch on the left sleeve is the closest thing I can really say to it connecting with the city, other than calling St. Louis the Lou, which I've personally never heard it called that, even though I visit St. Louis a lot to see family. But, maybe I'm just not in tune with that part of St. Louis's history. But I mean, as a jersey itself,
you see, my thought would have been that like the Lou would have been called Louisville, like instead of St. Louis, like
That's fair. Like, okay, yeah, no, I agree with that. So my gripe with almost all these jerseys is that they have little to no true connection to the city. Because I should be able to look at the jersey and say, okay, by seeing this jersey, what is it telling me about your city? And from this, I basically say your city is the Cardinals. You have absolutely nothing else connected to it because you didn't change a damn thing. Not a bad jersey color-wise because it's their spring training jerseys, and their spring training jerseys are a nice red. But from a City Connect thing, this is nothing. This is about as minimal effort as you can put into something.
If St. Louis was part of what people considered the Wild Wild West, then this would fit because, again, that lettering on the hat is absolutely abysmal. I actually think the player picture, I think it was Mason Wynn, who they asked him, the jerseys? Oh, okay. I thought you were. I thought you were
talking about the jersey. I was gonna say this screams Philadelphia on the hat, but the jersey itself doesn't really do much other than the patch that says love.
I'm just making fun of the irony of the discussion that we had when Philly dropped their City Connect jerseys, and what represents the city, and it's like, well, if you actually paid attention and learning about the states
and
in school.
like history. All right, let's be honest. I don't say much when John is present because I let you and John kind of just do your little banter back and forth. Now's my time to shine, damn it.
Oh, God, here we go. But I think it was, again, Mason Wynn, whoever, basically came out and they asked him about, what do you think about
you're talking about Wilson Contreras.
No.
How bad you thought the jersey was?
Somebody said they're City Connect jerseys, and that was the quote. I thought it was Mason Wynn, but I could be wrong.
I know Wilson Contreras said something that made it seem like he didn't like it. I didn't actually read the quote, but
yeah, but like, I mean, that's even the players know that these jerseys have been absolutely horrible, and yeah, I'm not a fan. I definitely hate the hat more than the jersey, but I definitely don't like the Lou on the jersey as well. Now, if you want to talk about a team who technically, in a sense, does have connection to the city, we do have the Toronto jerseys, which has the skyline. So there is a connection per se.
I'm assuming it's the skyline to Toronto because it says Toronto on the front. So,
and
that's about my best guess. You could have told me it was like wherever, like this. I don't know. It looks like other cities to me.
I mean, the CN Tower's there, so yeah. Well, the tower's there, so we get that. So
where's my maple syrup?
This is okay. I gotta see if I'm in the minority here with this one, because the whole time this is what I've been thinking when they were first released. So have you ever been to like Kmart or like Target or Walmart, like places where they sell like local or like sports stuff that's unlicensed? Like, because they don't have the licensing to it, so it'll be like a jersey of your favorite team, but they won't use the logo, and it's like a different font on wherever. This is what it reminds me of. Like, I vividly remember having like a Team USA soccer jersey that was like unlicensed that I got at Kmart, and the font and the lettering looks exactly like this, and that's all I can think about. I don't know if I'm out of left field on this.
On your own here. Here you are. You're not even in the ballpark, to be quite honest with you. But the main thing, because like, so I know what you're talking about. So me and Tyler grew up near the Jersey Shore, so we've been there a lot. And something that is a absolute staple of the Jersey Shore is knock off crap. Okay, just knock off anything. Now, so I always said, something is trending when there's a t-shirt of it on Wildwood. So similar to what Tyler is saying, like there's definitely like shirts and jerseys that they would make where they couldn't technically use the name, although that didn't stop them most of the time, where they would just be like, yeah, like Toronto baseball team. It would be like something along that line. So I kind of know what you're talking about, but I definitely think this is a lot better than those designs that we've seen over the course of that time. That's for sure.
I don't know. It's just something about, like, to me, I think it's the font really for me. Again, talking about the font of like, that just looks like something you would see on one of those jerseys of like, all right, we can't use the font of the team, so we're going to try to be creative and use this. To me, that's what it screams. The other thing that you can't see here, which I was just looking at tonight, which I think looks horrible, is they have like that blue that you see on there. They have that stripe running down the leg of the pant, and for some reason, to me, it looks absolutely awful. Look, I don't think, in retrospect to the other City Connect jerseys we've seen, I don't think this is the worst. I think it's probably middle pack, but I'm telling you, I seen this jersey, and that's all I can think about is like an unlicensed jersey. I don't know why, but that's what I see. Will, how do you?
At least they put the maple leaf on the hat. At least
True.
they put the maple leaf on the hat.
If it's a Canadian team, the maple leaf has to be there. That's like rule number one.
Compared to a lot of other teams in baseball, they did a fantastic job at connecting to the city, I guess.
That's your favorite part of these jerseys.
They did a good job at actually doing what the jerseys were meant to do. They understood the assignment.
Like that's gonna be my great thing when we look at the tier list. It's gonna be like, here's 28 jerseys. What do you think? And I bet you for 23 of them, roughly 22, I'm gonna be like, I don't see any connection to the city, or it's so thin I don't know or care. Like, there seems to be no effort in the connection part.
Can we say something real quick? When we do this tier list, someone might get hurt. Like, I feel like
that's why we're in different places when we do it.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here just kind of reflecting on, what we're saying now and what we've said before about these other jerseys, and I'm thinking, I have no idea how we're gonna get through that episode in one piece.
I don't think you know how I'm thinking.
Like, Ty, when you plan this and you start listing don't list anything else. I don't think we're gonna be able to fit anything else.
We gotta
I think it's gonna take
schedule.
us dude, I think it's gonna take us an hour and a half to get through half of them. I'm gonna be dead honest with you here. I think it's gonna be a 3-hour episode. So buckle up. We're having a telethon or a streamathon or whatever when we do this. Gotta find something to raise money for.
Oh yeah. There's definitely going to be some jerseys that there's a lot of arguments
What
about.
I'm curious about is what like Tyler and John are going to make as their list, because I can see like 3/4 of the jerseys being in the D and F tiers. And then the thing is, if they're not, then I'm going to see Bobby screaming at John for calling him a hypocrite. I can just see like, I hate this jersey so much. All right, what are you going to put on the tier list? I'd give it a B. What?
That would
Mr. Dark Pants is gonna put his O's jersey at the top, bro. I'm telling you. He's not even here to defend himself, but still.
3. That one's bottom 3. That's easy.
The other thing that's kind of weird for me too is because I can't decide. I was telling Will this part of the show, like all these jerseys have come out, and I don't know if it's a good or bad reflection on City Connect, but I can't figure out if I like or hate any of these jerseys that come out. Like I swear to God, like this one, I really don't know. I will say though, it kind of in a way reminds me of the Royals jerseys a tad, and I really like the Royals jerseys. So by proxy, I feel like I should like this more than I do, but I don't know. I think I really do think it's this concept I have in my head that I can't get out of it. that it just looks like a knockoff cheap version of something.
I do feel like there's a growing pain period with all the jerseys because, or at least I almost want to say there should be. Because it should be different enough that there causes that initial shock of like, what the heck are you doing? And then you kind of live with it, and then you can come to terms with how you feel about the jersey. So, I mean, I don't think it's crazy to see every New Jersey and be like, what the heck are they doing? But I also think you got to take in the hindsight, then looking back at that, and then looking back at the other jerseys. And a lot of times you're going to be like, okay, it's not as bad as my initial reaction made it seem.
Right.
Like,
well,
it caught me off guard.
I think when we do the tier list, we're gonna find that we might backpedal on a lot of the takes because the jersey.
Hey, I don't share my opinion for a reason.
Oh yeah, because
you don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you like to be mad at us without explaining yourself. So. You know, it is what it is.
We only have about 10 minutes usually for each of these sections at the end of the episode. I got to let Bobby and John fight it out.
That's true. Again, I think on the Blue Jays,
he knows what gets the clicks these days. It's Angel Hernandez and our hot takes. That's what gets the clicks.
And you're blind.
Anything of us bashing the Red Sox or bashing Angel Hernandez is sure to be for the clicks. So I think I will say this. I'll say like thumbs sort of up for the Blue Jays, but thumbs down for the Cardinals. That shit is horrible.
Yeah,
I hate that jersey.
Yeah. The Cardinals are going to be a D or an F tier. That's pretty easy. Yeah. I do think Blue Jays I'd probably put in a C tier.
Yeah, I think they're decent.